Let's look at an area of filters called the other filters. Kind of like where everything else is and they really don't know what to do with it. You've got custom. We're going to handle that one last because there's some cool things I want to show you with that. High pass, maximum, minimum, and offset. Maximum and minimum are really good for modifying things like masks that have a feather where you can kind of choke in on the mask, make it bigger or smaller. The offset moves selections a specified horizontal or vertical amount. Don't use that one a lot. I do use high pass and I use custom, so let's concentrate on those. Let's start with high pass. In high pass, what you're really doing is you're retaining edge details in specified radiuses where sharp colors occur, and the radius, of course, is right here. If we take it down to a 0.1, which is as low as you can go, you basically don't have anything. The more I move it, the more of the image that I get. I use high pass in conjunction with something called threshold to create what I like to define as a woodcut. You tell me if you feel the same way about it. What I'm going to do first is go into radius, and I'm going to jack that up until I see something about like that. This number will probably be different for you based on your image and its contrast. I'm going to go to a 10.6. I like that. I'm going to stop, click OK. Next step is go to Image, Adjustments, and go down to Threshold. Now to me, I don't know about you, it kind of looks like a woodcut. I don't change anything. Threshold is usually perfect exactly where it is. I just click OK. If I'd like to add a little bit of color, I'm going to create a new layer. And in that layer, I'm going to fill that layer with the color I want to put onto this woodcut. So we might choose one of these light browns up here. To fill an area with the current foreground color, that's Alt Backspace in Windows and Option Delete on a Mac. Change the blending mode of that layer that's now full of that color. Change that to color. And what you have is my idea of a woodcut out of a photograph using the other filter called high pass and threshold. Let's go ahead and go into our history and take that back to the way it was. I would like to end this lesson with something called a custom filter. Let's do this first. Let's change to this image right here. Let's go to Filter, go down to Other, and select Custom. While I'm talking, I'm going to get rid of all these numbers. The custom filter allows you to generate your own filters. Think of each of those boxes as simply a pixel. If you add positive numbers into those boxes, the pixel gets brighter. If you add negative, it gets less. The offset, overall lightening or darkening of everything. By alternating these different pixels, it's called convolution, which is an interesting name, you can create some pretty interesting effects. The one I want to show you is what I call my high contrast filter. We'll start by going to the middle. Watch what happens if I type in the number 1. The image comes back. The higher the number, the brighter it gets. Type in the number 2 in here. That's going to make it brighter. That's fine. To the left and to the right, type in -1 and -1 over here. That's going to offset the whole thing, send it back to black. That's fine. Up here, upper left, type in a 4, a 5, and a -2. Finish it off. Come down to the very middle down here under the 2 and type in a -7. There you go. My high contrast poppin' marking filter. Not too bad, really. If you want to lighten or darken it up, you can come into offset right here and type in positive numbers to lighten it up, or negative numbers if you want to go even darker, which I would say not. So that's one custom filter that you can do. Let's click OK. Let's go to this image again. Do something which I call kind of like a grunge filter. Go to Filters, go into Other, Custom, and again, we're going to start by getting rid of all the stuff that we just put in there. Start by putting the number 1 right in the middle. Pop 1. Skip this one and come down to here and type in 12. All right, don't worry yet. Overall, come into offset and type in like a -600. To me, it's kind of the end of the world look. Very grunge, apocalyptic, whatever you want to call it. But that one's pretty simple. Remember what you're doing. Each one of the boxes represents a pixel. As you type in numbers, positive or negative, it either increases or decreases the pixel's brightness, and in combination can create some pretty interesting things. You like this filter so much? Click the Save button. You can save these and then load them over and over again. Play around with Custom Filter. You may find some very interesting ways to use it.